Accu-Stats Video Productions presents from Chesapeake, Virginia, the 19th Annual U.S. Open 9-Ball Championships. I'm Bill Uncadona, along with two-time world champion and a lot of other major titles under his belt, a friend of mine, and I'm really glad to have you here in the booth to share the commentary duties with me, Johnny Archer. Johnny, the two players in the finals of the U.S. Open this year, Efren REYES and Nick Varner. It seems like, if history has anything to say about it, it looks like the Varner's going to win this tournament. And everything else points to Varner, too. They've played many times in not only in final matches, but in semifinal matches and other matches, and it seems like Varner holds a significant edge against REYES. How do you see this match coming down, and who do you think will win it, and for what reasons?
Well, I think Nick has the advantage, definitely. And, over the past that I've seen, a lot of the big matches, whenever they played on the TV or in the finals, that Nick has come out the winner. So over past experiences and history, you would have to guess Nick is the favorite. But I really think Efren's ready to win, and he's maybe got all the jitters in the past, behind him. So I really think Efren might pull this out.
Yeah, well, I kind of see it the same way you do. I have this intuition, like you do, that Efren, for some reason, is going to win this match. I myself feel that Efren REYES is the best ball player I've ever watched play the game. And all the other things taken into consideration, the break and the crowd and the cameras, all those intangibles, I can't really factor that in. In my thinking, I feel Efren REYES is the greatest player I've ever watched play the game. And for what reason he doesn't win tournaments, I can't tell you that. And for what reasons Archer and Strickland and Varner just constantly beat on this man. They're great players, but they're not supposed to be beating up this guy like they're doing.
That is true. Efren, he's always had my utmost respect, and he's really a great person. He's really, a great friend of mine, and I hate to see either one of these guys lose, because Nick's a great friend of mine too. So, I guess that's the way the things are in sports. So I'm excited to watch this match.
And so am I. And like you said, they're both good friends of yours. They're both good friends of mine. And I guess let the chips fall where they may, and may the better man win tonight.
Yeah, they definitely are in a better seat than I am, than in here in the booth with you. So it's really, it's an honor to watch these two guys play, because they're really playing on the top of their games right now, and so this is going to be fun to watch.
Well, we just saw Pat Fleming. He's the tournament director. He's done an outstanding job in directing the U.S. Open, as Barry Berman, the tournament promoter, has done this year and every other year. He's promoted the U.S. Open. This is the 19th Annual U.S. Open. Barry Berman certainly is one of the best promoters in the game, and he certainly has proven that once again here at the Open.
Definitely. Barry's really done a great job with the Open. For 19 years, that's an accomplishment in itself. And so, we're really excited to come here every year. And Berman has just done a great job. And
as you saw, the ESPN crane lowering the camera over the table, it's almost post time here at the U.S. Open 9-Ball Championships, and we're ready to show you what we figure will be an exciting, close match.
Well, if this is any indication of the way the lag came off, I guess the history really, because Efren didn't even get the ball back to the line. So, it's really, we have to kind of hope Efren's going to do well.
Yeah, the lag showed some indication of possibly a little bit of nervousness in Efren, because he's got such a great feel at the table.
Right.
He certainly would believe he could get the ball past the side pocket.
Yes, that's true. I noticed myself in the past, there's a lot of times I thought I was lagging to the two side pockets, I guess. So, he made a ball on the first break, and the one ball is coming close to the... Well, looks like this may be a long game here.
Okay, very quickly, Varner pocketed a ball on the break, and now we have a cluster of balls on the left side of the table. The two is on the right near the side pocket, but he doesn't have an available pocket for the one. The only thing he has available to him is some sort of a safety, Johnny, and how do you see it?
I see him knocking the one ball either past the 5 or into the 5, and the cue ball just drifting behind the 6 off the rail. Okay, into the 5,
and
cue ball
firmly.
into the 6 off the rail.
Okay, now he has left Efren a kick, but he certainly has done the job he's been asked to do, positioning the cue ball frozen actually against the 6. Efren steps to the table with nothing more than a kick. Now, Efren is very adept at kicking, so therefore he'll be able to hit exactly the side of the 1 that he needs to hit.
Right, he's gonna needs to hit the bottom side of the 1 here. Okay, well, he hit it straight into side and into the side pocket. So I tell you what, that's something there that Efren really needed to happen there, because now he's got just such an easy lay of the table here to win the first game.
Now the 3 ball's positioned close to the left-hand side pocket. The 4 cross table nearest the upper right-hand corner. The 5 adjacent to the 8. The 6 near the left-hand cushion.
Yes, this should be a routine run out for Efren. The only key thing here, I think, is to get from the 4 to the. Oh, that's the 7 over there, Billy. That's not the 6. I mean, that's not the 4.
Mm-hmm. It's hard for us to distinguish which ball
tell.
is which at times. We're working off the monitor, so we apologize if we lead you wrong in regard to which ball he's shooting. He went away from the 6th ball, and he's created a problem for himself, and it's a pretty tough shot at the beginning of a match to shoot.
Yes, I believe I would have had to come to the side rail and back over a little bit, which he hit that one perfect. That's the best shot he hit so far.
Okay, it looks like the angle that he has will suffice, but he could have gotten a little more of an angle on the 7. Now he's going to have to force it cross
he's going
table.
to have to kind of force a little bit hard. Okay, he hit a good shot. That's going to get close to the rail. Tell you what, he didn't.
Now he's got
it's a natural angle, but he really wanted to get more straight in there, don't you think, Billy?
It looks like he's got an angle like on the 50-yard line. He can get where he wants to get, or he can soft stroke it into the pocket, which we saw him do. This is game number 1.
Well, that's kind of what Efren needed. He kind of got a little fortunate on the kick shot. Do you actually think Efren was trying to kick that ball on the side, Billy? Or
well, I think that I thought perhaps he did try to kick it inside. Had he hit it thinly, it wouldn't cross table, and the cue ball would have went down the other end of the table, therefore giving him good results in regard to the safety. So therefore, I did think he really tried to pocket the ball on the side. He's really adept at the kicking game.
I guess so, because it looked like he hit it. Well, we got spectators in the crowd kind of causing a noise back here. I don't know who it was, but probably Tony Ellen back here, since he got knocked out of the tournament. He's a little mad now. But I don't know really.
But between you and I and the wall, I really think he tried to kick it in the side.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, don't get too close.
Okay. I don't get too close. Okay.
Okay, we're starting the game 2 here. Efren's got the break, and it looked like the corner ball went on the first game for Nick. So if the corner ball starts going, I tell you what, this could be just a fast match here, because the table looks like it's kind of playing fairly easy. Okay, no corner ball, but he made something.
He was able to pocket the 6th ball on the break, and now I believe it's the 4
1
ball.
and the 4.
The 4 ball to the left of the 1. Now, perhaps the 1 and the 4 are lined up to where the combination might be available.
But what it kind of looks like from here, Billy, it looks like if he can pocket the 4, it looks like he might have to hit the 1 a little thin to kind of can hold his cue ball, though, don't he?
Yeah, he's going to have a problem in regards to playing position.
He's going to have to hit the 1 thin to make the 4, so he's going to have to go up and down the table.
Wow, what a shot.
Kind of like that.
Reversing the cue ball.
Great shot.
Creating a nice angle for himself to go not only down table, but back up unscathed in position for the 1.
That's a good shot there. That's really you have to kind of watch out by hitting the 5 going down, because if he strikes the 5 ball, it's really going to pose a big problem for him.
Okay, the 2 ball is positioned nearest the lower right-hand corner. It looks like the 3 ball is in front of the 4 at the other end of the table, where the 5 sits to the left of both balls. Efren playing position for the 2 in the corner.
In the other corner, looks like he didn't have much of an angle.
Now, the angle that he has here suggests that he's going to have to follow it, and it looks like he may have to go down for a position for the 3 in the side.
I don't know. I think he's going to come out for the combination. No, he is following down for the side. Good shot. Oh,
no, if he bypasses his mark here, he's going to find himself with a problem.
I think it went too far, Billy. But I think the kind of shot that this is, Efren can kind of half spin this ball and spin it into the side. He'll kind of half masse it.
And he's going, he's elevating it.
He's elevating a little bit, so he's just going to kind of half masse it and spin it nodding to the side.
Well, that was a poor effort because the three ball had absolutely zero chance of going in after he struck it. Had
Right.
he executed the shot the way he wanted to have
would have
executed it,
overspun it.
probably, you either would have pocketed the ball or maybe even perhaps overspun it. By him underspinning the ball, I think he's still a little apprehensive and a little bit timid
Right.
out there.
And that kind of shot there was kind of what Efren needed to keep him going, to keep Nick away from the table. And now he's given Nick a new life, and Efren should have run out, but now it looks like it could be 1-1 here.
Yeah, 1-1 with Nick breaking.
That's the big key. Ooh, boy, he cut it close to the side there, didn't he?
Now, Nick looks like he's got a clumsy angle on the 7 here. It doesn't seem like it's the type of an angle that he wanted to end up with.
Yeah, it does look like he's kind of a little more straight in than he wanted.
He's going to have to do a little forcing now.
He's going to hit this a little hard here. Well, he hit it, struck it good
Yeah.
and firm. See, a lot of guys think you have to really hit the ball hard, but you really don't have to on certain shots. If you hit them just good and firm, and you don't have to get so close to the ball to have a good shot at it.
This is game number 2. Race to 9. Reyes leads the match 1-0. Varner's looking to knot it up.
It's 1-1.
Well, Efren had a golden opportunity in game number 2 to take a 2-0 lead. He overran his mark on a 3-ball somewhat, but it still was workable. He did have a half a mass save to pocket the 3. He hit it poorly. Varner got through the table, took advantage of the opportunity. Right now, Varner seems the stronger of the two because of that very reason.
Exactly. Efren looks like he's made, he made a kind of a mental error to hit the ball a little hard. And, like you say, the mass A shot really wasn't that great of a shot, great in an attempt. So Efren's that's usually one of his best shots is the mass A. So here we go, 1-1. Let's kind of see if the corner ball goes, the 6 ball. No, the 6 ball didn't go.
Nothing seems to be on its way to a pocket.
And Efren's got a kind of a a little bit of a cut shot, but
Okay, if he's
this
able
could
to
get on his way here.
if he's able to cut the ball in the lower left-hand corner, the 2 ball is positioned near the right-hand side. And look at the route that he'll be taking if he's able to cut the 1. He'll spin 2 cushions in between the 5 and the 6.
Is going to be the shot.
Speed becomes very crucial here. He was able to pocket the ball, spinning 2 cushions between the 5 and the 6 in perfect line, I might add.
Exactly. That wasn't that easy of a shot. He made it look easy, but I tell you, if you can tell, he struck it pretty firmly, and a 1 barely did roll. So he really had to hit that ball thin.
I believe the 4 ball was to the right of the 3, the 5 naturally, the bottom part of the triangle right there, 3, 4, and 5.
Well,
This is just a connected dot run. I don't know if I've ever seen one. 5, 6, 7, and 8, or just stop, and then down for the 9.
Yeah, this is kind of the run out you really want in the final match.
And that's perfect position on the 5 to ensure yourself that all we have to do now is stop.
Well, one thing that we play on TV different than the regular tournament is if you touch any ball on the table with your cue or with your clothes or hand, it's a foul. And we're not accustomed to that, only on the TV. So, like right here, he's having to bend over the 9. So if you'll watch him, he's always looking. So it's always something extra in your mind. And I tell you what, sometimes it'll cause you to make a bad mistake.
Absolutely. Anytime you clutter your mind with anything other than just pool, there's always that chance that you may do something wrong because you're just cheating yourself out of the concentration that you need to play the game the way you want to play. This is game number 3. At the present time, the score is 1 game apiece. Reyes will go to the lead with a pocketing of the 9, 2 games to 1.
Exactly. Well, it's 2 games to 1 and a race to 9. These next few games are going to be really, really crucial games. See if Efren can go ahead and pull ahead because he's got the break, or if Nick gets to break, if he can come back and pull ahead 2 or 3 games. This is a big momentum shift in the match right here.
Varner currently ranked number 1 in the world right now. He's the favorite for Player of the Year honors up until this point. I would think if you're ranked number 1, you should be a favorite for Player of the Year. What about Earl Strickland? Is he far behind Varner? Does Varner need to win this event, or what?
I think Strickland right now is right there with Varner. We started a new ranking system, and the year-to-date rankings, Varner's ranked #1 and Strickland's ranked #2, and they are really fighting hard. They're the only. Let's see, Varner's won 1 tournament, and Strickland's won 2. That's the only advantage Strickland has. But going for Player of the Year, I think it's going to end up who has the most points, and Varner has more points than Strickland because he's finished more consistent than he has.
And then there isn't going to be a contest. If Varner should happen to win the U.S. Open, then for sure it's clearly understood that Varner should be Player of the Year with the U.S. Open 9-ball championship under his belt.
I don't think so because there's still going to be 3 more tournaments left. So if something happens and Earl wins a couple of them tournaments, or
well, up at this point, that is.
Oh, up until this point, definitely. I think Varner is definitely will be the favorite going, after this tournament if he can win this match here.
Okay, now Efren has broken the balls in game number 4. This time he's the one came up dry. Varner broke the balls in the preceding game, not pocketing a ball on the break. Efren took advantage naturally and ran out. Varner doesn't have an offensive shot here, I don't believe.
I think he's got a pretty easy shot to play a safety behind the 2 ball there.
He's going to roll up on the 1, positioning the cue ball behind the 2. He allowed the cue ball to drift just enough to give Reyes some sort of a shot on the 1.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like Reyes has a very, very workable safety here also.
Yeah, it looks like he's got a safety here. He's just going to go behind the 7 ball and leave the 1 ball right there. And did he get up enough? I can't tell if he got up enough. I don't know. I tell you what, if he didn't get up enough, Nick's going to just go behind the 5 here.
Well, there's a gap in between the 7 and the 6. Is there enough of a gap for him to shoot the cue ball between?
I think it is. He's looking like it is. That was a careless error. I mean, that Efren really made there. That was such a fairly easy shot to really snooker him.
Well, Nick's got...
He can go right behind the 5 ball here.
Yeah, well, he has to get him behind the 5. If he doesn't get him behind the 5, he's got a problem.
Well, he left a kick. He can kick to the side rail here. It looks like he can kick the 1 in and run right into the 6 ball. And then maybe that might hold him.
If he runs into the 6 ball and happens to hit the top of the 6, he might find himself behind the 9.
Yeah, he might find himself behind the 9. Exactly. He's hitting this kind of hard, so he's going across. Oh, he's kicking that way. Wow, what a shot.
That was an excellent shot.
What a shot.
Shot that with a high ball, by the way.
That is some kind of shot there. I didn't even see he can go up under it that much. That was just a phenomenal shot he made there.
And he shot it with a high ball after contacting the 9. I think the ball had absolutely 0 English on it. That's why it went back.
Exactly. A lot of people think that you have to hit bottom English when you kick in 2 rails. But if you go over, if you're having to hit the ball full, a lot of times top English is going to make it to where it's a pretty easy hit. And for the cue ball not to move far. That's what you want. You want to split the balls up and fortunately, Efren stuck it behind the ball, and that was just a great shot.
Rick, if we can get the overhead view on this particular shot, we'll have an idea of what kind of an angle he has on the 1. And now the 2 balls on the right-hand cushion, he needs some sort of an angle to attain a shot on the 2 here. Oh, he decided
He's playing
that.
The safety, and boy, he laid it down good too.
Yeah, if he could have cut off the side cushion, the cushion where he just walked past, if he cut off that part of the cushion, he's certainly done his job.
He's done a great job. I think he has. It looks like Nick maybe has to massate a ball to go. No, he's definitely can't do it. He's going 1 rail here.
Considering the position of the cue ball resting against the side cushion, he's going to have to elevate somewhat and dig down if he expects to hit this ball.
Just like he's doing, because if you hit it high, that's going to make more of a turn on the cue ball, and it's going to, this way he's making more of a straight line, and he hit the 5.
Yeah, well, too much. He dug down too much, or else he didn't hit far enough to the right, either one of the 2. Now, the 5 ball finally did come to rest near the point on the side pocket, which may turn out to be a problem later in the rack.
That may be a problem in the match that you wouldn't think, but one good thing about it is the 5 ball is going to, wherever you get, the 6 ball is just right down by the corner.
That's a very good observation there.
So it won't, if he can get on the 5 and just make the 5, that's going to be okay. Whereas if the 6 was maybe on the bottom rail where the 7 was at, then it'd be a lot tougher run out.
The 6 is really placed conveniently in regards to the 5. All he needs to do is get any kind of a shot on the 5 in either corner. The 6 is right there.
Well, one thing here, you have to look, if the 4 goes in the side, maybe not present too much of a problem, but if it only goes in the corner, then he has to watch his angle here. Okay, well, he got a good angle on it, so The shot here, which way would you play this? Would you play it back across and play the 5 in the bottom corner, or
I,
up by the 6?
I like a center ball straight across. I think he likes it differently. I think he's going to go in front of the 5 going down so toward the
And
other
shoot
corner.
the 5 in the other corner. I
Okay.
think, that shot is such an easier shot because you don't have to look at that side pocket right there. The side pocket, whereas if you was on the other side of it, you have to get straight in to have an easy shot. Whereas if you got an angle, then the side pocket is posing a big problem on you.
Okay, if he's able to avoid contacting the 7 here, the remainder of this rack should be rather routine, which he's done quite nicely. All he needs to do now is attain the angle up table, pass the side pocket for the 8 in the side, the 9 in the corner, and all of a sudden we're going to see a 3-1 advantage for Reyes.
Should be 3-1 here. And I tell you what, the last couple breaks we've seen, the balls haven't broken that well for either player. So, it looked like the first couple breaks they really broke well, but in the last couple they haven't. So the breaks are really, changing.
Well, another thing that you have to consider when you notice that the table was really, stingy on giving up balls on the break is that an advantage by 2 or 3 games on a table that doesn't give up balls on the break becomes much
Could be
bigger.
very big, yeah, because if balls were really going on the break, and you get a 3 or 4 game lead, you're still not safely home yet because if balls are going to break, then the other player can just run 3 or 4 games right back at you. So,
Exactly.
Like here, if a stingy, like you say, a 3 or 4 game lead here means
It's awfully big,
means a lot here.
particularly when the race is to 9.
Exactly, that's the biggest part.
Okay, this is game number 5. Reyes leads in the match 3-1, and the last 2 times the balls have been broken, each player has come up dry on the break. Last rack, Efren came up dry. The rack that preceded that was Varner. When he broke, he came up dry.
Yep, I'm anxious to see how the balls react here. Corner ball there.
Corner ball did go in.
Okay, I think he's going to have a shot here.
The ones are going to come out,
He's going to have a shot here. Yeah.
and it came out just enough to give him a shot. Now, I don't know about the 8 ball next to the 1
I think that's a 7.
or the 7 next to the 1. The 2 came to rest near the right-hand side pocket. Can he draw the ball back off of the 7 and back of the 2 down
think,
table, or does the 7 preclude him from doing that?
I think the 7 actually hurts him here because I think he's going to come close to the side pocket. No, he come full into the 7.
Okay, look at the position of the 3. Very nicely in front of the lower left-hand corner. I don't know if that's the 4.
I think that's
is
the
that
4,
the 4?
The 4, then the 6, 7, and then the 8's down by the 9 ball on the bottom rail.
Okay, the 3, the 4, the 6, and the 7, no problem. But getting from the 7 to the 8, that may be a problem, depending on the angle that he ends
That
up
could
with.
be his worst problem, right?
And everything stems from this shot here. Actually, he's playing position for the 7 right now when he plays position for the 6. The angle that he gets on the 6 will determine what type of an angle he'll get on the 7.
Exactly. What he wants to do is his best position is get down. He didn't want the angle the other way, so now he's got a choice. He can elect to go either angle now. By the way he got there.
I think what he'll do, he'll draw it to the side cushion and then toward the 7, staying on the line that he wants to stay on for a nice angle to cut the 7.
Looks like he's too much straight in. No.
Now he's staying on that line.
Staying on the line toward the 7.
Yeah, exactly. Now he's got the angle. He stayed on that line. Now all he needs to do is pocket the 7, cross table for the 8.
Right. I tell you, it looks like he's pocketing the balls cleanly now. They're really going in with a lot of velocity.
This is game number 5. Reyes does lead in the match 3-1.
And he can pocket the 9 here and be up 4-1. And this is a pretty big lead.
Efren Reyes says, hey, I'm tired of finishing second. I've come prepared to play in this tournament. At the end of game number 5, Efren Reyes, the player with the lead, 4-1.
Yes, Efren is probably the greatest player not to get the respect from winning tournaments as any other player because he hasn't fared well in the finals. And, he's just such a great player not to have, that notability.
It's just like in baseball, there are certain pitchers that are great pitchers, yet they don't amass enough wins during the course of a year to be considered great pitchers.
Right.
Like some pitchers may not be really great pitchers, but they give you 20, 21, 22 wins, and they get paid for that. They're regarded as great pitchers.
Right.
Maybe someone else might give you 12 or 13 wins for whatever reason, and he has the best stuff, but he just don't win.
Right. It's a lot to do with in your mind. Your mind is the biggest thing in all sports, I think. Uh, most, some players have it, some don't. And definitely Efren has it. He just has to put it together.
That's right. He has to put it together and keep it together. Most
Exactly.
importantly, keep it together mentally. And if he can do both, really, he's going to be very difficult to beat.
Well, I tell you what, he's tough to beat now. I really hate to see him get any worse. Man,
All right, right now, what we're waiting for is this little
I think he might have a commercial.
commercial
break.
on ESPN or something like that, and Pat Fleming has his hand up. When Pat drops his hand, we'll be ready to continue.
Yep. The race will still be on. They're just stopping for a pit stop.
If it was up to Reyes, he'd be breaking the balls and continuing on.
Exactly. This is part of the TV that I haven't never really agreed with or enjoyed, because when I get into a match, I'm one of them that I'm so excited. I'm ready to play. I don't want to stop.
Especially if you're on a roll. If
Yeah,
you're on a roll, you
definitely.
want to continue. You want to get on with it.
Exactly. And Efren's won 3 games in a row, and as of right now, he's on the roll, and he just wants to play. He doesn't want anything to break the momentum. That's the whole thing in 9-ball is momentum.
It's like, I'll give you a fight analogy. It's like you have your opponent against the ropes and you're pounding on them, and all of a sudden
The bell
they
rings.
hold you up. You know what I mean?
Right.
So right now, Efren has Varner against the ropes. He's leading 4-1. He just run out 2 consecutive racks. He wants to play.
Exactly. And Varner's kind of happy that is happening like this, because he knows anything can break the momentum at any time.
All right, we're ready.
Okay, there goes the hand, so we're off and running again. I don't know, are the players playing with the shot clock this tournament on TV?
I don't think so. I haven't
No.
heard anything about the shot clock being used in this event, so therefore I would think that it wasn't.
Well,
Okay,
them balls kind of broke a little funny. You can kind of tell the sound of them. Well, I tell you what, he's kind of in a predicament here. I don't think he can make the 1, can he?
I believe that the 6 is an interfering ball, and also the 5, and I think those 2 balls preclude him from pocketing the 1. The 2 adjacent to the 1 cross table, that's the lone ball there.
Well, he's shooting it straight in, so evidently he can make it straight in, Billy. Oh, he kind of spun it a little. That was another one of the Massey shots, and he's missed 2 Massey shots, and them are the only 2 mistakes he's made.
I thought that he would fare much better with that particular Massey shot than they did with after he missed
Yeah,
the
that
first
was
one,
more-
the 3.
that was
I
more
thought he would
just a
fare
spin
better with this
shot.
one, because now he's got a 3-game cushion. He's more comfortable out there, but perhaps that little delay, that pause in the action out there sort of hurt him a little bit.
That sure may have. This is kind of a tricky shot Nick's got. It looks like he's going toward the 2-ball. Yeah, he's going toward the 2-ball, and he come out okay. So,
Okay, the 3 ball has been pocketed on the break. The 4 ball will then be the next ball after the 2. That's positioned near the left-hand rail, nearest the upper left-hand corner. It looks like he's got a slight bit of an angle on the 2, favoring the side of the table the 4 is on, John.
yes, it looks like all he has to do is kind of draw back to the center of the table. Like so. And, now his main key is just pocketing every ball. That's going to be his main key. from
Okay, the
here
key
on.
ball on the rack is the 6 ball. If he's able to attain a nice shot on the 6, preferably straight in, all he need to do then is stop for the 7, 8, and then the 9's right there.
Yeah, what he really wants to do here, he doesn't want too much of an angle on the 5 here. That's his main key. Oh, he missed
Oh,
the
it
4
was
ball. Now, that
really
was,
an unexpected miss by Varner, huh?
now, that was a careless miss there.
That had to been careless.
You just don't, you don't expect that from Varner in a situation like that. I tell you what, that was just really unexpected there. I really didn't expect that. I tell you, it really looks like every time Efren comes to the table now, it's like he has more and more confidence.
Well, for sure he's going to pick up confidence if Varner's going to miss balls like that. Varner had a great opportunity to, edge his way back into the match. Efren missing the Massey shot. Falling a little short of the mark here.
Yeah, Efren come up a little short here. This is where he definitely didn't want to get it. He's going to have to spin in between. It's like spinning between the 7 and 9 with a little bit of inside and come out 2 rails.
I think he should just lay beneath the 7, huh? Oh, he's going to come out. Oh, he's going to come out 2 rails is right. Very nicely done. I thought perhaps he may have stayed underneath the 7.
Oh,
By
he
coming
played a
out 2
7.
rails, maybe the 9 might come into play here.
Well, it looks like the 8 goes by the 9, so I think that poses a little bit easier. I think he's just coming up one rail and shoot the 8.
He's short.
He's short again. Boy, I tell you.
He's short again. And look how much area, how much room he had on the other side of the 8.
I think
so therefore, the correct side of the 8 to lay on was the upper side. The bad side was downside.
Exactly. The worst spot he could get it was low on the ball. I think what his main key, he knew he was going toward the rail, and if he come too hard, he might get on the rail, and that was where he didn't want to get, I guess.
Applying a very nice stroke on the ball, avoiding the side pocket, and then lengthening out after hitting the side cushion, and 3 cushions for position for the 9. This is game number 6. Reyes leads 4 games to 1.
This is a shot you really have to concentrate on. This shot. Well, 5-1.
5-1 in a race to 9. It would seem that 5-1 cushion in a race to 9 might be insurmountable.
Well, I don't think it's insurmountable because it looks like the balls are breaking, okay. It looks like they're not really just getting dead every time. So, anytime a momentum shift can happen with these two players, the more Nick comes back on Efren, if he does happen to get another shot, it's going to just put more pressure on Efren to perform.
Well, Efren realizes that just as much as you do or anyone else here in attendance. He knows that he really can't let up. He can't afford to let up against a player the caliber of Nick Varner.
Well, just like one year with Buddy Hall, I was playing here, and the match I was ahead of Buddy 7 games to, I think it was 1 or 7 games to 2 in the semifinals to go to the finals, and I got a little bit tough on the 9 ball, and I missed it, and Buddy beat me 7 games in a row.
And
beat
that
me
you'll
9
never
games
forget.
To 7, and I'll remember that to this day. And actually, I think that match helped me,
Absolutely.
in the future.
Absolutely.
It was a learning stone for me.
And matches like that really allow you to turn on that killer inside of you.
Exactly.
And always keep it with you. Once you start feeling sorry for your opponent or you think your opponent is helpless, and then you go in a loser match, those things help you.
Well, the thing about it is, what you really don't kind of feel sorry for your opponent, but what you do when you get a lead, you kind of just play careless position without thinking, or get a little careless on the shot and miss it without kind of concentrating like you have the whole match, because you start getting more relaxed. Is what it is. You get more relaxed, so now you start.
Well, for what reason you let your guard down.
Exactly.
You're not supposed to let your guard down
Never.
when you're in a tough fight.
Because the other player's gonna play just hard right back at you, and he can win 4 or 5 games in a row just like you did. And so the whole key is, now Efren, he didn't make anything on the break there, and that could be, like you say, Nick could win 3 or 4 or 5 games from here, without Efren even having a shot. So any little thing that a player gets an opportunity at the table, it means a lot.
Okay, let's focus our attention to the the layout that he has on the table. Okay, the 5, 6, and the 7 seem to be more or less routine. Now we come to the 8 and the 9. You notice the 9 blocks off the upper right-hand corner, so therefore he's going to have an angle on the 7 to attain a nice shot on the 8.
Yes, I think. What he wants to do is actually get a little bit straight in on the 6, like so. And now really all he wants to do is follow his cue ball maybe forward, or maybe stop it in that position. Then he's got a natural angle to come back for this 8 ball.
Yeah, I kind of like following the ball here. If he has the confidence to follow the ball, because naturally following the shot is a little more difficult than stopping or drawing to the side cushion and back across again.
Right.
Following is probably the best shot to shoot in terms of playing position.
Right. Well, it's hard to see. It looks like he's drawing it to the side rail here.
Drawing the shot, he increases the accuracy of the shot.
Right.
So therefore, he didn't want to miss the shot. He opted to draw it. Now he's a little further away from the 7 than he wanted to be. Had he followed it, he would have been closer.
Right. And he's going kind of more toward the straighter in angle of the 7. Whereas if he's coming straight across, to hit that point's really got to be a little unlucky.
Well, he hit the 7 perfectly. Now he's lined up the cue ball perfectly straight on the 8, and that's really ideal.
Yep, this here is really what you want on the 8-9. Just kind of make the 8 fall forward about 2 or 3 inches, and there's a 9 in the other pocket.
This is game number 7, and it looks like that Nick Varner will then close the gap to within 3 games, 2 games to 5.
Yeah, that rack there was kind of an easy rack for Nick to have after he just missed the 4-ball the last game. So, he was kind of looking at maybe Efren running a couple racks behind that miss that he had. And, looking at next time he shot was 7-1 instead of 5-1. So that was kind of a good opportunity for Nick.
But it seems like the break has been really what was responsible for stopping each of these players the most.
Right.
Because they've been coming up dry more often than not off of the break. So Nick really has to put more velocity into the break, or else he has to change position to the cue ball, possibly, maybe go to the other side of the table, do something differently, maybe to get more production from the break.
Well, one thing about it, you hate to really change, because the first time Nick broke, he made a corner ball and he made another ball. Then the next time he broke, he didn't make anything. So, and the same thing happened to Efren. The first time Efren broke, he didn't make anything, and then the next time he made 2 or 3 balls. So you kind of think it's going
It's
back.
not time to abandon the area. You mean you have to give it one more shot?
I think you have to try to give it one more shot, because it kind of, it's kind of the groove with the rack. When balls are put to a certain position, that's when balls start going to, going to the hole or around them more often. So, he's going to stick with the position, and I kind of like his choice here.
Okay, he was able to pocket the one on the side, nearly scratching in the lower left-hand corner, but that didn't happen. 2-ball finally coming to rest in the center of the table. I don't know if the 8 is blocking off the pocket or not. If the 8 is blocking off the pocket, the side is available, but the position after pocketing the 2 on the side seems to be fraught with peril, because he has to go toward the direction of the 5, 6, and 9.
Yes, the 3 balls laying right there. If it could go in the corner, this is ideal. But I think what he's going to do is pocket the 2 in the side, and I don't know if he's going to slow roll or go ahead and hit it firm. He slow rolled it, and he hit it good.
Well, he was able to avoid contacting the 9, and the way he did that, I think, is he overcut the 2 slightly, making sure that he went away from the 9. Now he's got an ideal angle on the 3. The 4 ball is positioned in front of the upper right-hand corner.
Yeah, this is just a, this is just a shot. You really want to play position to have to shoot in between the 5 and 6 for the 4. So, he kind of just wants to come out one rail, out kind of the center of the table. Well, he's going the other way with it.
I kind of liked your route to the 4. If he would have played position on the left side of the 6, I think that the rest of the rack would have played much simpler than if playing position on this side of the 4.
Well, just like, we're here and we can't really tell the angle he had. He might have had a little bit more angle than it looked like. So, now see, I kind of like playing the 5 in the other pocket.
Sure, because the 6 is on the right of the 5.
Right there. Here, you kind of have to watch out for the 9. You kind of have to watch out for the 8. Got to play perfect speed here.
But I think it all stemmed from his choice of position on the 4. I like the position on the 4 to the left of the 6. He chose to the right of the 6. The right of the 6 created more problems for him, I believe.
Right. But I guess that's why we're here in the booth and he's out playing in the finals.
Well, of course, the next opportunity I get to talk with him, next time that situation comes up, he'll play it differently.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah, you probably have a lot of control over the players. Well, it looks like this game's going to be, Efren's lead's going to be cut to within a couple games here. 5 games to 3, because this is just routine, just follow up. Then the 9's right there, and we have a 5-3 deficit.
And at one time it was 5-1. That's when I turned to you and said, do you think this lead is insurmountable?
No, definitely not. See, Efren broke the balls. He didn't make anything. It really wasn't nothing he done. He broke the balls, didn't make anything. Nick made a nice run out, and Nick broke the balls, and he made something and ran out again. So, each game is just, it could come really fast.
Now, the ball that Nick made on the break was the one in the side. Now, he's definitely playing that shot now, taking into consideration that he really isn't producing many more balls on the break. The wing ball's really not going in. But the one on the side he was able to pocket. I look for him to try to pocket the one on the side once again.
Well, one thing about it, a lot of times it's the way, just like the corner ball going. Sometimes you get on tables where a track is made and the one just goes right to the side every time from if you're breaking from a certain side of the table. And the one's going to be cut off here, and that's going to go up in the corner here. Or the 2 ball, and there he's straight in again.
Okay, he was able to make the 2 ball the one kiss into the 2. He was able to make the 2 and one other ball, the 3 ball. So now the 1 ball is positioned in front of the lower left-hand corner. The 2 ball is missing, the 3 ball is missing, and the 4 is behind the cue ball. It'll be by his right hand. That's the 4 ball. So that'll be the ball he'll be playing position for.
Yeah, he's going to spin around 2 rails here and kind of go kind of toward the 4 here. Oh, that's hard.
No, he has to watch. He hit the one too thinly.
Too thinly. That's what happened there. And he just, I think what he done was he overspun the ball is what happened. I don't think he really meant to hit it that day. He just overspun the ball, and therefore the cue ball massayed on down. And actually he might have been kind of fortunate actually to make the 1, because a lot of times you overcut that shot. And
well, had he been trying to hit the 1 ball thinly with that amount of masse that took place, then he probably would have overcut the ball. But he was trying to hit the 1 ball playing position 2 cushions deep out of the corner for the 4, and he ended up hitting the 2 thinly. There was no chance of him missing it.
And
but
he's just playing safety behind the 9, and I think he left where he can hit it. But I don't know what kind of shot he's going to have. And that's kind of fortunate. Even to leave Efren this shot, because he just shot the 4 straight into the 8. So you really can't tell which way the balls are going from there.
But you know one thing, regardless of if you hit rail first or ball first, both balls will go off of that cushion and go toward the other side.
Right.
His main concern was controlling the cue ball.
Wow,
making
that's
sure
a good shot. No,
that is an excellent shot.
That's a good shot there, I tell you what. That is, he just played a long rail safety and banked the balls in between the 6-7 from the other end of the table, and that's just a good shot. If it hits the 6 or the 7, the 2 ball could either get in front of the hole or it can get on the 9 really easy. But here, I think Nick has can he hit the top side of the 2?
I don't believe he may be able to hit the top side of the 2, but even if he can, I don't think the billiard's available. What's he aiming up?
I think the billiard might be available if he can hit it thin enough. I think if he hits this ball thin, the 2 ball thin, he's got a chance of making a 9 here. Well, he hit it thick. See, that's the whole key. When you're shooting that far away from the 2 ball, I mean, it's so hard to actually hit the ball thin, and you kind of have to get lucky with the shot, really.
Okay, the position of the 5 ball, I believe, precludes him from banking the 2 cross-side. I believe the 5 is in the way of that particular shot. We'll say it is in the way. Then he has to relocate the cue ball then behind the 9.
I think the shot here, Billy, is to bank the 2 ball over here under the 5 on this rail, and the cue ball staying behind the 6 and 9, kind of like that. I think that was the shot, and that was a good, well-played shot. Okay, he has cut off the bottom rail for Nick to kick 1 rail to the 2. So Nick's going to have to kick the ball 2 rails here under the 8 to try to kick the 2 in the side.
Well, he can either do that or kick from the side cushion. I think he can kick by the 7 toward the side.
I think Nick likes kicking 2 rails on a shot like this.
Well,
Nick's he likes a 2 rail shot here, because I remember a shot he made similar to this on Earl Strickland in Columbia, South Carolina in the finals. Strickland was ahead of him, and Nick kicked the ball sort of like this, 2 rails in the side, and then won the match from there. And that was a year he scratched on it.
Kicking it in that fashion, it seemed to me at least that corner pocket was very, very large.
It was very much in play.
And I was surprised to see him kick in that direction. I thought perhaps he would either go 2 cushions or use the other side rail to kick off of. I was really, even though that was the easiest kick he had to hit the 2.
Right. I think the main thing he should have done there was to hit the ball more firm, is to go ahead and hit the ball firm. So it kind of takes the corner pocket, makes the corner pocket a little more smaller.
Yeah, you'll get a glance off of the ball after he strikes it, and it'll
Right.
go to the cushion quicker, not following through the 2-ball. Reyes very nicely rolling the 5-ball into the pockets.
I don't know about that shot there. That kind of shot there would make me kind of shake to have to shoot that kind of. But Efren shoots that shot a lot. Kind of a really slow drag shot and pocket speed, I guess we call it.
That was really pocket speed.
Really pocket. That was, I don't even know. I think that just made it to the point. That was point speed there. So I think he's going to kind of try to draw past the side and down table for the 8.
Yeah, this is actually the best angle to be on the 8.
Yeah, I think
now
he's
all he
just going
needs
to
to do is draw straight
table.
up using the side cushion, and then come on up toward the 9. This is game number 9. In a race to 9.
This was a big game here. If Nick could have won this game, it would have been a lot more pressure on Efren here. But Efren won the game, and it's 6-3 Efren, and you really have to point the advantage to Reyes now.
Okay, Efren really is an accomplished player. Actually, he's won the Asian Championships 4 times. He won the 1991 Tokyo Open Championship, the 1988 McDermott Masters Championship, in 1985, and also in 1986 he won the Sands Open. He won the Sands Open Championship. So therefore, he is a very accomplished player. He brings a lot of talent to the table with him. He is leading in this match 6-3. And let's see if he can sustain this momentum that he has had throughout the match. He's always been ahead in the match. He's never relinquished the lead.
I think he's really played a good match. I tell you what, Nick really hasn't made. He missed that 1-4-ball, Nick did, and that was, I think, the biggest turnaround in the match, because that was whenever Nick had a chance to come back and win 1 or 2 games, and missed the 4-ball, and so it kept Efren's momentum going. The 91 Tokyo Open, that was the last tournament I remember Efren winning. I was over there for that tournament. He beat me in the tournament, and he really played a great tournament. I was ahead. I remember the match. I was ahead in the match 9-5, and I think they had a purse they give up if you ran 5 racks from the break. You got like $2,000 or $3,000, and he won the next game, made it 9-6, and proceeded to run the next 4 games from the break and got ahead 10-9. And the next game he had a 5-ball straight in to run out with 3 balls on the table and missed it, and so still won the game. So. He beat me in the match, but he didn't. I was wanting to go ahead and see him run the 5 racks.
Why not? Right. Okay, we're ready. Back in action again. Efren Reyes leading in the match 6-3, breaking the balls, game number 10, coming up dry once again. And the last 2 times he's broken the balls, he has come up dry.
Right. I tell you, that is a big advantage when or you're in the back of your mind, if a player's not breaking well or he's not getting good action on the ball, and when he has to break, there's a good chance for you to come right back to the table. So it's really it's really a comfort to know that you're going to come back to the table.
Even leading 6-3, if every time Efren has the opportunity to break the balls and he comes up dry, Varner still has a legitimate chance to win the match.
Varner is always in the match. Even if Efren keeps coming up dry on the break, Varner's going to be in the match till the end.
And that's the way I see it also. Efren Reyes, the next time he wins a game, he's going to have to be more productive on the break. I think he's going to have to put more velocity into the break.
I think that's it. I think Efren may have to change sides next time, because he's come up dry the last 3 times he's broke, and that's a big advantage for the other guy, and a big disadvantage to yourself. So, and Nick come to the table. He pocketed a good shot on the 1-ball, and now he's looking at an easy layout to make it only 6-4, and that's only 2 games. And 2 games is really not a lot of, advantage playing 9 balls.
No, it's not a big advantage, particularly when you're not pocketing balls on the break.
Right, exactly.
Now, if Varner starts breaking the balls and starts to get production off of his break, this match could get tied up in a matter of minutes.
Varner could win it easy from here. This could make the match 6-4, And so, this is by means, with Varner breaking the balls at 6-4, I think it's a, fairly even match from there.
And not only that, when you consider that Reyes has a history of finishing second at events, he may have the early lead, but you don't get paid off for the early lead.
No, you definitely don't. Second, being ahead 7 games to 2 or 3 or whatever the score may be, you don't get any consolation for that. You might as well go in and lose 9-1. It's like I played in the finals here twice, and Varner beat me 13 games to 9 one year, and then the next time I got in the finals, I won the first game and lost 9 games in a row. So you can lose a lot of games in a row real quick.
So if Varner continues his assault and starts to get closer and closer and closer to Reyes, just maybe that'll come back into play in Efren's mind. Hey, I was ahead of Varner the last couple of times I played him, but yet I didn't win the match.
That's true.
That's a burden itself.
Well, there's a lot of things definitely going through Efren's mind right now. He really hasn't made any mistakes, but not pocketing the ball on the break, and that's a mistake in itself. That's a big enough advantage that you need.
This is game number 10. Right now, Varner trails by 3 games in the match, 3-6. With the pocketing of the 8 and the 9, he'll draw within 2 games of the lead, 4-6, and also be at the table breaking the balls.
True. And I watched the break, and so far, Nick has had more. He's had more production on the break than Efren has, even though Efren's broken more times. So, right now you have to, like I say, you have to count this game about even. This match about even right now.
Well, I wouldn't go as far to say it was even, because right now it's a race to 9. Reyes needs 3 games. Varner needs 5. It's awfully hard to spot someone 2 games in a race to 9 just because they have the break. I'm not going to give it I'm not going to call it an even match.
Well, okay. Well, I guess it maybe not be a quite even match, but I tell you what, it's not far from it right now.
Not far from it. I agree with that.
But now, if Nick comes up dry here, now you have to shift the momentum right back to Efren Reyes here.
Yeah.
So this is a big break here. Okay,
one ball on the side. It seems to be that's the ball he's been getting paid off on, is the 1 in the side. The position of the 2 in front of the lower right-hand corner. The 3 to the left of the foot spot. I believe that's the 4 beside the 8 on the left-hand side of the table. Very quickly, I don't know whether the 4 will pass the 8 into the lower left-hand corner.
No, the 4 won't pass 8, as we can see it from here, from a good view from the camera. So like you say, the problem here is going to be the 4 ball. So what he's going to do, a good thing here, if he comes all the way down and gets past the 3 and the angle to come toward the 4, now he's got a chance to break the balls up, but then he's taking a big chance. I think what he's going to do is, he's trying to come past it. And
okay, obviously he can't do anything in regards to breaking the 4 away from the 8. So how would you play this position, right from this position, figuring that he's fairly straight on the 3?
Okay, the shot I would play here, I would come down past the 4 is my shot. I would have to come below the line where you break from and shoot the 4 back up table and play a safety either behind the 6 or behind the 8. Because if he comes straight up and plays, knocks the 4 to the bottom rail this way and plays the safety there, then that's going to leave Efren just a good, easy kick shot. See, he's coming past the line here.
He's trying to come past the line. He's trying awfully hard, but I think he's falling short of the mark. Now we have another problem.
No, I think what he's going to do here is just knock the 4 to the rail, and I think he can knock the 4 just straight to the rail and play, and the cue ball just lays behind the 8. I think that's the shot he's shooting here.
The way he's addressing the table, it looks like he's going to do some rolling here.
Oh, okay. I think he left it where he can hit it.
He may have left a part of the ball.
Where he can hit it. Yeah.
Well, even if he can hit it, he's still not out of the woods.
No, but I tell you what, that's a big advantage to Efren, just being able to, well, he's looking real close, so he can't hit it as cleanly as it looks from here. He can't hit it? Well, we've been informed by the masterful Tony Ellen that he can't hit it, but I think he can spin it. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, he can't hit it.
Well, not
But I
only could
thought
he hit it,
he played a good,
but
great
he could hit it and avoid contacting the six, positioning the cue ball behind the six, creating a problem for Varner.
Well, that was kind of a kind of a careless mistake that Varner made on the safety he played. He should have made sure, I guess, that what he was trying to do was go into the eight, knock the eight off the rail, back in the way of the cue ball, and what he really done was kind of hit the four ball too thinly, and the four didn't get to the rail itself.
Well, this is action. Game number 11. Reyes leads in the match 6-4. Varner's at the table without a shot, and it looks like he's hooked. He's looking to tie something up.
Well, here I think there's a good chance of him to tie the six up. I mean, tie the four up, just knock the six over on the four. Okay, and now, well, right now he's going to be put in a bad position, I think, because what Efren's going to do, he's just going to lay it up close to the ball. He's going to thin the four, go down past to the right rail, and back across on the same side as the four and the six are right now.
And the only thing Varner's going to have available is a two-rail kick.
Two-rail kick shot. And I tell you, from where the seven ball is in the center of the table, I think the two-rail kick might
not be available?
Might be available by the seven. See, the seven, if he can leave him over here, now the two-rail kick's not available anymore.
But he has to be concerned with scratching cross corner here. He's not kicking it that hard.
He's hit it too easy.
Okay, now...
He's left a lot easier kick than he really wanted, I think. Don't you think?
Oh, I don't know. Varner pointed at the cushion in front of the six. I don't believe he can get in there and hit the four.
And it looks like the four ball may be frozen. That poses a problem because then you have to make contact with another rail after you hit the four ball. Well, he's tying up the seven here. He's tying something up here. Isn't he? No.
I don't know what his plans are.
He was looking at hitting the four. It looked like he was aiming at the four. He's going to kick to the bottom rail here and try to lay on top of the four.
My prediction is that Varner's going to lose this game on three consecutive fouls.
Well, that's a pretty good prediction, Billy. But I tell you, it's the biggest problem to Varner. If this four ball is frozen, that's a big problem. It must not be frozen because he's trying to just lay on.
He hit the eight.
Yeah, he hit the eight.
Okay, now you have a choice. Do you go after the run out or do you try to get him on three fouls? Look at the situation.
Well, see if the eight ball is froze. That's the biggest problem for Efren at this point. The eight ball is froze. See, he's looking at playing a combination. I do not like this shot. I don't like this shot here, Billy. I believe I would have to try to three foul him.
Well, it's either three foul him or play the combination. You really don't want the obstacle of the eight being there and having to run out 6-8.
I don't know. I don't see. I mean, the eight's froze. If you get almost straight in on the eight, then you're looking at the angle back down table. I mean, that's kind of a position that he just I don't know. Maybe he likes.
Let me ask you this question. If you were confident that you would make the combination, then what would you like to do?
If I was confident I would make the combination, then I guess I would have to shoot the combination.
Because you can see the pattern. The 6 and the 7 are adjacent to one another. So all he needs to do is attain a shot on the 6, a straight-in shot on the 6. The remainder of the rat plays routine.
Well, what he really wants here, he doesn't want too much. He don't want the angle the other way. He doesn't want to get to the left rail over here. And from the position of the 5, I don't think he's going to get there. He's hit that ball good.
Yeah, a perfectly struck ball by Efren Reyes, putting him in perfect line for the 6. The remainder of the rack should be routine.
Well, we'll have to see. Perfect. Now Now the remainder of the rack is routine now.
This is game number 11. At this time, Reyes does lead in the match by 2 games, 6-4. With the pocketing of the 7 and the 9, he'll extend his lead in the match by the score of now 7-4.
It's 7-4, and with Efren breaking the balls. But see, the one key again, is to break this match. Efren hasn't had production on the break, and he's still leading in the match 7-4. And Nick's had more production. He just can't really seem to get a momentum shot, because the 4 ball tied up the last game. As if the 4 had just enough path to go by to the corner, then Varner be running out and he'd be breaking again.
Well, this game, is just a matter of sometimes a quarter of an inch this way or a roll, a half a turn of the ball this way, and it's happened for him and it's happening against him now.
That's true. This game is just...
How many stories have you heard other players talk about? Well, if the ball would have turned another quarter of a rotation or another half of a rotation, I would have won the tournament.
Exactly. It can happen. Like you say, it can be. I remember breaking the balls 8-8 in the finals of the LA Open against Strickland, and I broke the balls really well. Cue ball stopped in the middle of the table. Looks like balls were fighting around, trying to go in the hole. A couple of them hung up, and then something come nipped the cue ball, and it just rolled over and looked like it was going to stop in the hole, and fell in the pocket, and he ran out to beat me 9-8. So, like you say, there's, and you have to go back and point to certain games in a match for when a guy loses it. It may be 9-8, and he lost that game, but he wouldn't think that he lost a game, on that game, because he can go back and point to another game in the match.
Okay, once again, Efren has broken the balls. Once again, he has come up dry on the break. This is the third consecutive rack that he's broken the balls and come up dry on the break. Varner at the table, trailing 7-4. The 2-ball position near the lower right-hand corner, the 3-ball position in the center of the table nearest the right-hand side. The 4 is positioned, the 4 is positioned to the left side of the table, to the left of the 1.
Well, this is the big key that's kept Varner in this match, is Efren not being able to make anything on the break. Whereas if Efren, had been making things on the break, this match may have been over already.
I totally agree with that assessment. But in the meantime, this is the key shot of this rack right now. The 1 ball and also positioned for the 2.
Well, I'm getting shots from the crowd again. That's got to be Tony Ellen, I bet you, back there somewhere. But back to the match anyway. Yeah, this is definitely the key shot. He's running in. He's playing a safety.
He's trying to position the cue ball behind the 2.
He has positioned it dead perfect.
Okay, now Efren, being one of the better kickers, or maybe even the best kicker in the country or the world today, what chances do you give him of contacting the 1 here?
I tell you what, I don't give him really a lot of a chance here, because the 4 ball is posing the biggest problem for him. Because I think the side rail is cut off, the 1 rail kick is cut off from the 2, and the 4 ball is posing the biggest problem for him to kick 2 rails, and he is looking just to miss the 4, so now the side pocket is going to come in. If he goes past the side pocket, now he can't hit the 1, and he has to put just enough English. He's going to have to jack up on this ball a little bit, I think.
I don't think there's anyone more adept at the kicking game than Reyes.
So
now, let's watch very carefully and closely at this kick.
Got to just miss the 4, and he hit it. Wow.
Oh, come on now, I'll tell you. Can he kick or what?
That's got to be the best shot.
Kick or what, huh?
That is just, that's unbelievable. He hit just enough phase, hit it just soft enough. He just missed the 4. That's unbelievable. That's the best shot of the match.
That's too good. That should be illegal.
Yeah, that
should be illegal.
I think I'm gonna go to the Philippines and maybe I don't know what I'll do. Go to school over there or something, because they didn't teach that. They didn't teach that in America.
Okay, we can look back on that kick shot after this match is over and possibly say that was the shot that determined the U.S. Open 9-ball championship.
Well, I tell you what, don't count Varner out. He's a great kicker. He can kick this ball in here. Go to the bottom rail. Well, look at here. Now, how you like that one? Back at you now.
Or we can look back on that shot.
We can look back on that shot and say that
was
could be
the determining shot that determined the winner of the U.S.
Wow,
Open.
what a shot. That is just unbelievable.
Look at Efren smiling out there. Look, he's smiling.
Well, that's the only thing you can do with that. You either smile or cry, so he elects to smile, so...
Well, okay, it's not over yet, because once again,
he's going to have to masse and spin this ball to the bottom rail here. That's scratched. Yep, that's scratched.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was a great duel between two of the greatest kickers in the game, and that time Varner came out on top. But that kick that Efren executed, believe me, really excited this crowd. The crowd.
That was some kind of kick. That was just a phenomenal kick, even though, he got paid for it at the instant, but the outcome may not be in his favor.
What do you have to do to win a game? I mean, really, what do you have to do to win a game? You figured after he made that kick, this game was most certainly his.
Well, I really don't have much to say about that one because that is such a great shot he made, and now we have to look, and Nick's the one running out. Well, he's going to try to. He's going to force this one off the rail and shoot the three in the left hand. Oh, he's drawing it.
He's coming back.
Oh, he got there. Woo.
He actually wanted to get back for position for the side, and he's fallen about 1.5 feet short of his mark.
Yeah, he's going to be able to make this in the side, but he actually wanted a lot more straight in of a shot on the three than he gotten. This is definitely a missable shot. This is a kind of a shot you have to watch out for it. For the ball skidding, this kind of shot could skid on you.
Notice the position of the 5. If he happens to end up on the left side of the 4, he's going to have to do some extra work to attain a shot on the 5 now.
Yeah, I think he may have to play position. I don't know if he can actually get in between, to shoot in between the 6 and 8. Is it down there?
He's going to play 2 cushions out of the deep out of the lower right-hand corner, swinging around past the side pocket.
Well, he has to watch out. He's got to position this ball. He's got to go a little bit.
I think he's
perfect there.
He's done what he wanted to do.
Yeah, that's exactly what he done. He's there, and now he's just going to come out and get a little bit of an angle on the 6 and play 2-rail position for the 7 in the side.
Yeah, so game number 12 really turned out to be very eventful in the regard that Efren Reyes made that outstanding kick, only to see Nick Varner return it back to him, another outstanding kick. And Varner's kick actually was the shot that won this particular game.
Exactly. Well, that was just a great game there. That, like you say, that game was the pivotal game in the match. If Nick Varner happens to win this.
Oh, absolutely. Very
that game was definitely the pivotal game in the match. It looks like Efren was going to get on the hill, be ahead 8-4 with the big lead, and now it's going to be 7-5, and Varner's breaking.
So things really aren't coming easy for Efren Reyes.
No, it's not.
No, they certainly aren't.
For either players, this match is going to be a deserved played match. Whoever wins this match is definitely going to deserve it because they both had to make a lot of good kick shots, some great kicks, and made some good runouts.
Absolutely. At the end of game number 12, Nick Varner trails by 2 games in the match, 5-7. Reyes has broken the balls 3 consecutive times and has come up dry 3 consecutive times. Varner is the only player that's been able to pocket balls on the break with any type of regularity. And he has been pocketing the 1 in the side. That seems to be the ball that he's been paid off for, the 1 in the side.
Yeah, that's been the ball that Nick's been making off the break. And it looks like if the 1 doesn't go in the side, it could go 1 rail in the corner under where he's breaking from. So that's always that possibility. Now we're getting down to crunch time. These are definitely the crucial games in the match. From here out, Efren would love to win 1 out of the next 2 games to get on the hill quickly.
I would think he'd like to win 1 out of the next 3 games, then he would have an 8-7 advantage. 1 out of 2 would be great.
Well, the thing about it is, if you're up 8-7 and then you break and don't make nothing, now the other player, if he wins that game, now he's breaking to win the match. So he definitely wants to win 1 out of the next 2 games. I mean, is his main goal here. Well,
but he would settle for 1 out of 3.
He'd settle 2 out of the next, how many ever.
2 out of the next, how many? What's the difference?
Right.
2 out of the next, however, is right.
So now I'm anxious to see how the ball's reacting. He's been more productive on the break, so I'm looking to see him make a ball on the break here.
Okay, the one didn't go on the side. Now it looks like it had a chance to go cross corner. It didn't go cross corner. He came up dry on the break. Efren REYES steps to the table. Take a look at the situation, John.
Well, the only thing I can look here is this first shot here. And then looks like the 3 ball is positioned where there's not a pocket for it to go unless you go in one of the sides. So unless there's a combination on the 3-8. So what he would love to do here is position the cue ball down there by the 8 ball. Is one of his best positions.
Let's take a look at the situation, though. All the play in this rack is the 1, 2, and 3. Everything else seems to be playing.
Is routine.
Yeah, right. So therefore, all the play in the rack is the 1, 2, and 3.
He looks like he's. I don't know what he's doing here. Wow. Well, whatever he done, he didn't.
Well, he tried to dig out of that corner short enough to avoid contacting the 6, come down table, then swing across for the 2.
Well, he hit the shot really good. I tell you what, if he had missed that 6 ball, he was down there. And then he's looking at the 3-8 combination that was on really good. So, well, this is going to be another safety.
I'm going to tell you a good safety here, and I'm familiar with this safety because I play a lot of 1 pocket. He could kick behind the 2, sending the 2 up toward the Brunswick plate sign there, possibly to the right of that. The cue ball then should edge his way to the right somewhat. If he can get deeply behind the 2, there's a wall of balls right there that the cue ball can find.
I don't think he can get that deep behind it. I think he's just playing the sass too hard, isn't it?
Yeah, that was the problem with that kick.
I think it left him right in the gap there. I think if he's not in the gap there, it's just an easy jump shot. He doesn't even hardly have to elevate his cue.
But there is a gap in between the 3 and 9. The cue ball may have found that gap. It's most certainly there, that's for sure.
That's a little bit unlucky for the 2 ball to land there, and the cue ball to land where it did, is the only place he can actually get to where he has a, fairly easy shot to, path in between him and the 2 ball. But I don't know if he can go straight through it. He has to elevate just a little bit. So.
Well, he seems quite comfortable. He doesn't seem unhappy or disturbed about anything. So therefore, that's a strong indication that he can pocket.
He can pocket the ball. That's just that's a little bit unlucky there. That's a little bit unlucky there for the ball to turn out there.
Well, it could be a little unlucky, but still, Efren was still in control of his destiny on that particular shot. He was the one that struck it a little too hard.
Yeah, that's what it was. The ball actually struck a little hard, and well, it's going to be the 3-8 combination, and now he's going to have to run into the 6 and 9. So he's actually going to, but it looks like he's cutting the 8, so the 3's not going to go into the hole. It don't look like.
Well, even if he's able to pocket the combination, there's no guarantee he's going to come up with a shot here. The 9 may spoil everything for him.
Nah, I think it's routine. He's got the bottom rail where he can just kick 1 rail, and then the 4's up. Boy, that was a big game there. 7 games to 5. It could be 8-5 or 7-6. When now with Nick breaking, so that was a big game there.
Well, that game just added more suspense to this already suspenseful match. In the meantime, if Varner's able to get out this rack, the score will then be 6 games to 7. He'll be at the table breaking the balls, and then I think it's about an even match.
Yes, with him breaking the balls, being down a game. He's very happy to be only down a game, with the break at this late in the match.
And the other factor that we really hadn't considered was the momentum swing that just took place. The momentum swing now favors Varner. Even though he's behind by a game, he has the break, he has the momentum. With those 2 factors there, I think I might even make him a slight favorite.
I think Varner is the favorite from here. I like Varner from here because he only has to win 3 games after this game here. So he only has to win 3 games, and he's got the break and the momentum, on top of it. So, Efren knows every shot he gets from here out probably is going to be just a super tough shot.
Game number 13 appears it's going to go Varner's way. He'll then be trailing in the match 6-7. But there's one other thing that we didn't factor in, is that Varner hasn't been making balls on the break either.
Well, the last break that Varner broke, he didn't make anything, but you have to look, he didn't, that was the first time he didn't make anything for 3 breaks. So now I'm kind of anxious to see if Varner changes, if he changes here or if he's back to the same place, because it looks like that side break is not the productive place on the table to break from right now.
Okay, we're back in action now. The referee has just racked the balls up in preparation for game number 14. The score is 7-6 in favor of Reyes. Varner has the break. He has the momentum. Efren's worried in the chair, I think. What do you think?
I think Efren's really worried right now. He's really just hoping for an easy game here.
There goes the 3. No, it didn't go in. Okay, the 1 ball, he does have a shot on the 1. I believe he can pocket the 1. There's enough room to the left of the 8 for him to be able to pocket the 1. He can pocket the 1 past the 2. Efren now is again in control of his destiny. If he can come up with this very, very touchy shot on the 1.
This is the key shot here, because he looks like if he has to try to draw it, he's looking at it's kind of a touchy shot. Watch out. Ooh.
The 3-ball position in front of the upper right-hand corner.
He actually went a little too far to the left than he wanted, because he overcut the 1, actually.
He'll draw the cue ball in between the 5 and the 8. He's really a master at this type of a shot. Very nicely done.
Perfect. But did you notice with the shot he hit it with straight bottom English, whereas a lot of players would use right-hand bottom English there. He must shoot, he likes the straight English a lot more. It's a lot more easier to control.
Well, I think that using no English on that particular shot gives him a better feel for that type of a shot, knowing exactly what kind of a hit he's going to get, what kind of reaction is going to take place.
Right.
And he's found himself in perfect line on the 4, on the absolute correct side of the 4 ball, considering the position of the 5. Looks like this rack, provided he doesn't lose concentration, should be his.
Yep, the whole key here, well, there's really no key. Just pocket every shot you look at, and there's no key. It's just 6, 7, 8, 9, connect the dots, roll them in the hole, and we should have the first player on the hill.
What you said Efren would settle for is, it looks like that's exactly what's going to happen. You said he would like to win 1 out of the next 3 games.
Right.
And then he would have the lead 8-6 with the break.
Right.
And it looks like that's the exact scenario that we're going to be looking at in about 10 seconds. 8-6 in favor of Reyes, a race to 9.
Well,
this is the closest he's been to a championship in many years here in the United States.
Right. Well, I tell you what, that kind of
coming
shot
up
there
a little short.
He forced that shot, I believe. Well, now see, he's drawing this. He's drawing this shot.
I don't like drawing that shot
I don't like drawing that shot there. I like well, I guess that kind of that eliminates the skid, on the shot. Whereas if you roll it, that skid is still there.
But I think that you diminish the accuracy somewhat when you draw it, opposed to hitting it with a center ball.
Right.
And furthermore, I feel that you can see the ball better if you hit it with a center ball. That's my opinion. Of course, that's my preference there, is hitting it with a center ball. His obviously was to draw the shot. I'm really not going to argue with him, because I really couldn't win very many arguments there.
Right.
So
well, we look at both players, and both players, Nick shaking his head like he can't believe he didn't make anything on the break, and Efren, he's still worried.
Well, the break has really been the problem for both of the players, particularly for Reyes. So therefore, really, Nick can't complain about coming up dry on the break, because if you notice, Efren really hasn't pocketed many balls at all on the break.
Well, I tell you what, I can't believe he's breaking from here again.
More
He
velocity
made
on the
something
break
there.
that
He
time.
didn't hit the balls. Watch out, one.
More velocity, and the balls may take their places.
Uh-oh.
Okay, now here it is. This is a perfect layout to want
This is
for
what
the
you want.
U.S. Open title. I mean, all the balls are spread fairly nicely on the table. The first shot looks like the key shot
This
in
is
the
the
rack.
whole key shot of the match. He's going to hit this hard and come around 2 rails.
Okay, it looks like it's perfect speed.
Well, he wanted to come up a little more than that, I think. He kind of got a little
short?
A little short of it than he wanted. So now this is the key shot of the match. See, he's shaking his head, and you can tell
Let's
he's a
go
little
back to
nervous.
the overhead, Rick, and take a look at the table once again.
Okay, the shot here. I tell you what, this is kind of a tricky shot.
It's
here,
very
Billy.
tricky.
I
You would
think
like to slide underneath the
shot he's
floor with a
gonna
little
shoot-
reverse, but that's really risky there, so.
He's going to shoot it with straight bottom, means come straight up. No,
Oh,
he shot
that's
it the other way.
absolutely perfect.
That's perfect there.
Absolutely perfect.
Yep, that one's perfect there. And is this the 6 down by the 5 ball here, or the 7?
That looks like the 7 and the 5 are on the same side of the table. The ball
7
on the
and
right is
5.
the 8.
Now you're looking at the 8.
2, 5, 7, 8, 9.
So you're looking at the key to 7 to the 8 to the 9 is the main key here.
Could the dry spell be over?
Well, he won't have a better chance at it if it's not. This will be his best chance. Well, I tell you what, he's looking like he's
Well, there's
taking a
no
little
reason for
extra
any
time.
hesitation here.
See, I wouldn't never even. I mean, if I was nervous, I'd
There's
go
no
ahead,
reason
I'd
for
go ahead
all
and
this.
There's no reason for getting up and shooting too slow. Okay, what he's looking at here is following 2 rails in between the 8 and the side rail, and he wants to get fairly straight in on the 8.
I think any angle will suffice on the 8. You don't want to brush it.
Well,
Okay,
I
now
think
he's going to
he's there.
draw directly back to the bottom cushion. The only thing that I can envision going wrong here if he fouls the 9 with a part of his clothes or his body.
well, I don't think he's going to do it.
He's drawing back straight to the bottom cushion, and it looks like Efren Reyes is
Reyes
finally
broke
going to
the dry
crack
strip.
the ice. He's finally going to win a major championship. It's going to be the U.S. Open. You know, you really have to feel good for Reyes. You know, I mean,
I
so
tell you,
many
that's a great
times.
match. Efren Reyes is the happiest guy in the whole world right now. I tell you what, he really looks happy now.
Yeah, you know he's happy. The onus was on Reyes to perform well. He did perform well. He came up dry 3 or 4 straight times when he broke in the balls.
I tell you what, I really feel happy for Efren. You know, he's really played hard, and he's come out and he showed a great hard-fought match with Nick, and he fought a couple errors there in the middle of the match. So he really showed a lot of heart to really stay in there.
Yeah, he certainly did.
You know, Nick came close to him when he got the lead. Nick stayed close to him. But then Nick came up dry, and he seen the opportunity. He could have easily, made a mistake that rack, and that could have, definitely pretty much would have cost.
If you want to win a championship, you want to win it. You don't want to have someone give it to you.
Exactly,
Efren Reyes won the U.S. Open
exactly.
this year.
Nick didn't give it to him. Efren didn't get lucky. Efren played a great match. You know, he came up dry, on 2 or 3 breaks, and he still stayed in there when he got shots. And Nick played a great match too. Nick came up dry on that last rack when he didn't need to.
Mm-hmm.
And Efren break and run out the last game of the U.S. Open. That's what
great.
you really want to do.
We've seen some fantastic pool here in the finals of the U.S. Open, both by Varner and especially by Reyes. Reyes made some fantastic shots, and that's probably the reason why he's the one right now sitting or standing next to Don Mackey and Barry Berman. He's the one that's won the 1994 19th Annual U.S. Open 9-ball championship.
Well, Efren Reyes is the U.S. Open champion, and he's definitely not disputed right now. He's definitely the best player at this tournament at this point.
Well, that was really nice of you to say that, Johnny. And anyways, we're going to close this up. So let me add this before we close it up. It's certainly, and I really mean this, really, it certainly has been a pleasure working with you in the finals of the U.S. Open, and I really would like to do it again.
Well, thank you, Billy. I really enjoyed it too, and I learned a little bit by sitting here and listening to you talk, and it's been great, and it's been fun.
Okay, thanks a
for
lot.
having me.
Thanks a lot for stopping up, Johnny.
Appreciate it.
So on behalf of Johnny Archer, this is Bill Incardona saying thanks a lot for supporting Accu-Stats, and I'm really glad that you were thoroughly entertained with this championship match. There's no reason why you shouldn't have been. This was a great match, and so if you're next to the phone, give Pat a call, 1-800-828-0397. Give him a call because we got a lot of great matches in our inventory list. See ya probably maybe at the Sands Regency. I guess that's our next event.